Marilis, founder of Powerful Marketers, and I am thrilled to be joined by Mira Timaya and Mai Beksen here. Hi, ladies. How are you today?
Hi. Good. Very good.
Hi,
How about you?
everyone. Really great. Regards to everyone on this beautiful summer evening.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited about this event here today because, ladies, I don't know if you know, but there are 100 people signed up. So the topic is hot, and so are you, of course.
The topic is hot and so are we. I love that. What an intro.
So the topic we address today is, of course, how to build a personal brand on LinkedIn that actually feels like you and without
Mm.
the overwhelm. And this live session is inspired by our latest event in Stockholm last month. And I
Mm.
do hope that we can keep the same energy here today, meaning it's open, real, and really focused on connections, right? So,
Yeah.
for the listeners, we are also recording this session for our podcast and our hub community. So, settle in, ask questions in the chat, of course, and let's have some fun. So, while the listeners are still joining us, let's kick off with introductions, ladies, right? So, Mira, maybe let's start with you. Tell us a bit
Sure.
about yourself. What do you do today?
Oh, what I do, way too many things. Um, so I've been in marketing and branding for almost 20 years. I have my own company, Brand Fixers, where I work as a marketing consultant and I'm a public speaker. And then I'm also part owner of a co-working space in Stockholm, where I'm sitting right now. So and that keeps my days pretty busy, to be honest, and I love it. So it's great. I get to meet and help so many people. And the last couple of years, I've gone from marketing and branding overall to focusing more on the personal branding aspect. And it's been very rewarding and it's helped me a lot in my own career, which is why I love to help others with it too.
Mhm.
And I guess that's how I met you guys too.
Yeah, that's exactly how we meet. And thank you. So now, I'm sorry, May. Please introduce also yourself to our audience today.
Yeah, just a short recap to my longer background. I come from this quite colorful international background. I've been kind of having this expat life for almost half of my life, changing countries, having three children meanwhile, and kind of like building up myself all the time from zero. And I think also this is also one maybe reason that has now naturally brought me to this personal branding, because building up yourself every time is something that you really, it makes you look inside you, and now I hope I can also help others. But what made me go really technically into it was my work as a recruiter, as a headhunter. I was doing C-level headhunting, and over there I kind of course, found this tool like LinkedIn. Uh, really feeling myself at home these days, and I'm teaching people in the LinkedIn. I used to use LinkedIn in an efficient way. But I also kind of learned the importance of uh, positioning yourself in your industry. Because I saw when we were doing headhunting and we had a client who was expecting some short lists or long lists and all those things that you do in the recruitment, I saw how some names were sticking out and how they were perceived differently, how they were getting better salary conditions, how they had a stronger position behind the negotiation table. So I realized the importance of building your own professional brand through that.
Hmm. Thank you. And I'm sure we have a lot to learn from both of you ladies here today. So, just very quickly about myself, I am Marilis, founder of Powerful Marketers Hub, a marketing community where you are all welcome to join, of course. And I will also share a secret code at the end of this session today that gives you the first month's access for free. But I'd also like to kick it off for the live listeners here today. Now it's your turn to introduce yourselves. And for that, please drop just one word in the comments that best describes your personal brand. We will come back to that later on during our discussion. So please, just one word. It's very important, right? So go ahead. We will pick some answers as we go here to comment later on as well. Also, please make sure to ask questions or add your comments to take maximum out of this live, as this is your chance to get live coaching pretty much for free today here, right?
That's true.
But without further ado, I believe we all agree, since we are here already, right, that having a personal brand matters professionally, for sure. But in my experience, people have problems with putting themselves out there mentally, mostly. So, Mira, what was I don't know, the most significant mindset shift you had to make when building your brand?
Wow. I think there are a lot of mindset shifts that happen, but I think that there is something that happens when we talk about branding ourselves where we feel this like walking into a wall because it just feels unnatural and you think it's all about being fake or building this kind of a personality or fake branded person. And then it just doesn't feel good in your body. So I think that you have to rethink that and decide what personal branding is for you, and the results that you can get from it is what will make it worth walking through that fear. And for me, I didn't really understand that I was building a brand when I was, because I'm in marketing. So I had started my third company 5 years ago, and I realized that I just liked talking about it, and I couldn't find so many people to talk to who were entrepreneurs. So I started my own newsletter, The Honest Entrepreneur, and the reactions that I got from being very personal, that's where it all started, and that's where I realized what a force it is to realize that being more yourself is what will attract the right people to you, and that is a part of building your personal brand. And so
Mhm.
it's really just taking the tactics that you know as a marketer and placing them on yourself as a person. And it sounds easy, but it is intrinsically hard to see ourselves objectively, I think. So
Mhm.
it's a bit of a challenge, but there's so much you can do to, overcome that mindset thing. So I think that's it.
Mhm. That's very good. I love how we put it. It doesn't feel good even physically sometimes, and I totally get that.
Yeah, we tend to not want to do things that don't feel good,
Of
but
course.
sometimes we need to, right?
Hmm.
So it's good to just acknowledge that and be like, okay, but maybe I can do that anyway. Maybe it's worth it.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as I don't feel maybe good to go out. I don't know to do some training maybe. So, but I still need to do
Yeah,
that, and I have
exactly.
to. Yeah. Any additional thoughts, my?
I have little bit similar thought, but little bit from different angle. Like exactly what I was telling you about when I was working in this recruitment firm. It was quite serious, management and leadership firm. Like doing it. We had offices in almost 60 countries and large worldwide network, and in quite like a conservative maybe style. And when you really do this management consulting, then kind of most of those firms are positioning themselves as thought leaders in the leadership and management and all those things, and it's quite a serious industry.
Hmm.
I was there. I'm not inner me is not so serious person. I am quite playful. I like to see world with a child's eyes, and I hope I never lose it. And I often felt like when I was posting, I started your LinkedIn posting already then back then because I knew
Hmm.
that this is important. I need to be visible. Visibility is important. But I kind of used someone else's voice because I was writing those posts from kind of the obligatory point of view, or wanting to be someone else and wanting to really fit in this serious management consulting industry. But it is inevitable. This was
Mm.
my
Hmm.
role at those days. but it didn't feel like me. And if I now think back of those times, it was a few years ago, I think, why didn't I write with my own voice? I mean, this is nothing wrong that you still, doing this kind of serious job, you would still write that like a human being with your like
Mm.
tiny twists in your texts or some, expressions what you would personally use. But this was before the AI era where texts were not created by AI, but I was writing like serious AI because I kind of thought I am expected to write these very serious texts. So this was kind of like one change that happened to me after I left that job. And I somehow felt that freedom that, oh my God, now I can really recreate myself and exactly how I am.
Mhm.
Mm.
I can have my colors, I can have my own style. I don't need to straighten my hair anymore. I can have them as they are naturally. And kind of, I think this was kind of like the shift I went through, and what I want to maybe also tell to people when they are about to maybe be visible. They are not there yet, but really be authentic, be as you are. Even if you are in serious role, okay, you don't need to be overly funny and something, but don't lose your own voice, because this is what we are special about. This is your voice that people believe in, they trust in, and this is what world needs. World needs like true people, through you. And
Mhm.
it's so fun to be yourself. It's so
That's a
you
good
be
quote.
yourself. So I hope you got the
It's
message.
fun to be yourself.
The shift for me.
Yeah, that's really good. Well put.
Yeah, exactly. I just wrote it down. It's fun to be yourself. So we all love authenticity, but I think that it's still easier to say than actually to do. So we need to overcome some of these fears. But
Yeah.
we asked our audience to put one word in the comments. How would they describe themselves and their brand? So
Mm.
there's an inventor by Eric. Thank you. That's very good. Experience by Fiona, and somebody is written catalysts. So,
Ooh.
what is one word for you, Mai, and why is it important? I will ask the same from you, Mira.
It's a good question, Marilis. I have this like tiny small like exercise I do with my people whom I consult. We are doing this exercise, finding yourself your professional nickname.
Hmm.
It might sound a little bit, silly or funny, but it is. I think it has a very like a deep, big meaning under. It's like if you take this large market where we are players at, you should find your niche or your thing. And no, ideally, you could describe it with very short, no, either one word or few words. And that really helps you also to define who you are. It helps you to present yourself to others when you are in the networking event or in the fast-paced, the uh, meetings, or it's kind of your elevator pitch. So, of course, currently, as my bread and butter is LinkedIn trainings, this is what I do. I teach people to use LinkedIn more efficiently. I teach people to really use this channel in maximum way in the marketing, sales, and everything, and personal branding. Then I would like to be LinkedIn Mai.
LinkedIn Mai.
Mm.
Love it. Thank you. So, Mira, what is your professional nickname?
That's a good question. I don't know if I have a good one. I tend to always want to change my mind. And I think that's the thing with the personal branding, it has to be able to grow with you. But there is something to be known as one thing. So I was sitting here thinking about it, and I think that I'd like to say, I mean, I usually would say entrepreneur, but what I like more is big sister,
Mm.
because I really am a big sister to my little brother Max. But I think that my personality and my mission in life is very linked to that kind of thing, being someone who can help others, protect others, teach others, and lead them. And I like that. So I think I'm going to go with that today.
Oh my God, I love this.
Mhm.
Just as I was listening to you, Mira, first I thought I will be marketing Marides, but now I'm thinking, no, I am powerful Marides because I'm all about
Yes.
empowering marketers, right, to become better. And so, okay, we have our nicknames, and I'm
Sounds really amazing, Marilis.
Love that. So thank
I
you
love
for
it.
this inspiration, ladies. And let's see, there is a comment in Swedish language. Maybe Mira,
Yes,
you can help us out here now.
I try to translate. Um, so it says we have salespeople in big deals whose competency we want to. Sorry, this is bad translation directly, but we want to like show our salespeople's competency and
Mhm.
their knowledge. How would you personal brand these people? We call them rainmakers. So how would you differentiate these rainmakers from the people who sell um, smaller products that
Mhm.
demand more volume? Or would you have fewer ambassadors and invest more in them? Okay, let's see if I understand this question. So you have some salespeople in really big deals that you want to lift up. How would you brand them? We call them rainmakers. To be honest, like it's so interesting because I don't really lump people together like that, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but in personal branding, even in companies, which is where we do what we call employee branding, we still want to look at every person and their story. So yes, maybe I would differentiate a person who is selling one type of thing from another, but not really because of what they're selling, but because of what their story is or what that person is interested in promoting. And so it's easy as a company, I think, to think of um, how you would like to brand the person, but you really have to ask the person first, because LinkedIn, of course, is their channel, social media is their channel, and it's their life. So whatever personal brand they want to build is important to respect and listen to. But as a company, we can come in and give them the, you know, help and knowledge and how to do it, and that will of course also help the company. So I don't know if that's a good enough answer. You can of course clarify in the comments if you want, if there's something more specific you want.
Mhm.
But I do think it sounds super interesting that you have these rainmakers. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. I would love to hear more, but Mai, do you want to comment on that question to hear your thoughts as well?
No, my thoughts. Mira, you had another live today this morning that I had chance to listen part of it, and this was exactly you targeted to salespeople in Sweden. So
Yeah,
maybe
that's true actually.
yes, yes, yes.
Two
So
panels in one day.
yes,
Uh,
so maybe next time you
but
do such live, then this person who asked the question can get a lot of answers there.
yeah,
I think it was a lot of such salespeople specific questions answered
Mhm.
there.
that's true. And I think that I don't know how you look at it in your organization, but there might be people that you want to lift more than other people. And maybe there are also people that you feel it comes more natural to like be seen and do things. And I would start with low hanging fruit, definitely, and help the people who raise a hand and say, I really want to do this, because it will be very much easier to work with them than to talk someone into doing this that doesn't really want to do it, right?
Mhm. I also want to comment on that question. I think that's very good. Thank you, first of all. And I'm sorry I don't speak Swedish myself, but
That's
um,
okay.
I think that when it comes to the sales, it's all about building your personal brand. Like you should be the building the thought leadership, meaning that it's all about how you show it your own expertise because it's peop you need to put out the valuable, useful information so that people would want to follow you. It's not about putting out the call to actions on another sales deal or something. So I think first of all it's long term, but but it's worth it. I can promise you that. So if you keep on, just putting out information that your prospects are probably looking for or what is the information they need, sometimes what is even enough is just to say that you can find this kind of, I don't know, legislation about this topic from here, and because it's so much easier for people to follow the advice from you, for example,
Mhm.
rather than to go to find it by themselves, etc. So I would say it's
Mm.
especially for the sales and yeah, even the big guys and well, the small guys, it's the same. I would say, of course, the topics are different and expertise level are different, but still, you should just show out what is it, what you do, and why you are good at it, and give me the reason to follow you.
Mhm.
So these are my
I
thoughts.
have this one thought about this thought leadership. It's
Mm.
uh, Mira, also this morning in your other webinar, you were touching that point a little bit, and I really related to that thought, what you mentioned, that thought leadership should not be something that creates extreme stress on you. You
Hmm.
shouldn't be thinking
Mm.
that now when I am thought leader in this or that, I am the one who knows everything about it, or I am the one
Yeah.
who really is, dictating or kind of telling the whole truth about this or that topic or the industry. Thought leadership should actually be seen as a platform. And it's like
Mm.
you, as a person in that industry, are like a platform of discussing those topics, allowing others to give their opinions on those topics and kind of maybe moderating them once in a while, or benefiting with some extra information or facts, or if you have that. But not necessarily. So you don't, anyone could be thought leaders in something when it means that you don't need to be top expert in that. But it should mean that you are creating a platform when you speak about that specific topic, what you yourself also burn for, because
Hmm.
people can feel if you really are like
Mm.
interested or dedicated, and you burn for this or that topic. And this creates this expertise around you. But even you don't know
Mm.
even if you don't know all the answers, but you know what the topics are about.
Mm.
And And I agree with you. And I want to add on it. When I'm working with corporate clients, I often see that people tell me, oh, no, I'm not the thought leader. I don't know, but still they are on top of, of their careers and there's so much they know actually. But for them, it's just,
Yeah.
my like regular thing and they don't think of it as a
This
thought
is what
leadership.
we humans feel like. We want to be perfect. And this is this,
Yeah.
perfection
No
is,
one is perfect.
no one
That's
is perfect. Yes. And once you realize that,
So you both work with similar, people out there on the market, and I know Mira, you do also corporate work. So how could
Mm.
one, let's say, top level, high level sales guy should work with their, the personal branding? Then what are the like maybe some practical advice or maybe some good practices, you can bring?
Specifically for a salesperson? Well, it doesn't actually
Or
really matter, I think.
C level management maybe also.
Yeah, like leadership.
Yeah.
Well, I think that for anyone, no matter if you're a CEO, an entrepreneur, or an employee, or whatever it is you are, you also have to factor in what you want to be. So
Mhm.
there's like an intersection between who you are and who you want to be and how other people see you. And there amongst lives your personal brand somehow. So it's not really black and white and it's not cut in stone, which I think is nice in a way because you have the ability to change it. So I think where you have to start is with you and what do you want to be known for? And then you can think about maybe Googling yourself and seeing what's out there. What do other people say about me? And, looking at is that what I want there to be out there about me? Or do I want to change anything? Do I need to add to it? And one way of adding to it, of course, is making content. But there are many ways, both physical and digital. So I would start with taking inventory and deciding what I want to be known for, and then start creating puzzle pieces to put out on the internet so that people can lay that puzzle of who you are, basically.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's very good. And I would add up one more question as a client, what's in it for them? I mean, for the people
What's in
who
it for
follow you.
them?
Yeah. So why should they
Mm.
follow you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's good.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you. Why? Anything else you want to add here?
yeah, absolutely agree. And maybe just emphasize that to keep a certain focus. Like one thing that maybe, no, especially if we today want to talk more about being on LinkedIn compared to maybe other social media channels, that really keep the focus on what is your topic, what is your industry, what is your expertise, and don't
Mm-hmm.
create content on, because there is so much we can write about, the daily news, the politics, any other industries as well are creating all kinds of thoughts to you. But really, LinkedIn should be a channel where you mainly talk about what is your expertise and also showing your personality behind it. So those two things kind of in a good balance. So this is compared to now maybe, for example, Instagram, Facebook, other channels where you can really go along and comment daily news and politics and all those things as well. But if you really want to consciously create a professional brand in LinkedIn, then I recommend you focus on what is
Mm-hmm.
the thing, like Mira said, what you want to be known for. It doesn't confuse your audience, and they really understand that this is the topic that you are talking about. You are writing about it, you learn new things yourself every day, you are creating this platform of having the conversations about it, and you are expert of that.
Mm-hmm. Love
Because
that.
ultimately your dream is, or your kind of like tiny small dream could be to become number one in your very niche. So you should understand what is that thing that I am extremely good at, or what I'm trying to be extremely good at. This can be in the future as well. It's if you're not today, you can build it in a focus to the future. But if you focus on this one thing, it starts building on itself. You start
Mm,
following people who talk about the same thing. You learn from them. You engage on their content, and this builds you as a professional brand.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good stuff. And I hope that we already gave some answers to my P. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Because there's a question: how do I define and communicate my unique value proposition? So yeah, start
yeah,
with
you were.
who do you help and what you help them to, I don't know, solve, and what's in it for them.
Mhm. Yeah, who I'm helping and how. And if we come to LinkedIn, LinkedIn frames kind of what the platform is about, then of course this should be your kind of the upper side of your LinkedIn profile, starting with your banner, your headline, your about section, that whoever lands on your LinkedIn page, which today, as we know, is your landing page. LinkedIn is our professional landing page, so people come there to understand who you are as a professional. So they would instantly understand what is the value that you can create them, that this message should be clear, that they don't need to, wonder, or they don't get lost in that message, that they really understand that you are a person who can help me with this thing.
That's very good. And now we can circle back to professional nicknames. So, listeners, please, just comment with one word. What is the one word you want to be known for? So, we have Eric, an inventor. We have Fiona, experienced. We have Catalyst. We have marketer. This is me. And we have LinkedIn Mai. We have Big Sister, Mira, and we have Paul from Marilis here coming together. And last but not least, Laura commented, work smarter, not harder. Amen to that. This is
Mhm.
what we are all about at Pop Marketers, which leads me to my next thought or question that we should definitely also discuss is that how to how to build this personal brand now without overwhelm. I mean, if we talk about consistency, for example, in marketing, I know that the first thought usually is that, oh my God, now I need to put out some content every day. So
Mm,
it already feels overwhelming if I say you need to be consistent. But I really want to remind you that consistency is even one post per week, you know, one engagement per week.
absolutely.
So that, but just make sure you do that every week. So that's consistency. It's not that you need to be everywhere. So let's touch on the very practical everyday life. How often should one person who wants to build, let's say, this personal brand and become a thought leader? Mira, let's start with you.
I don't know if Mai has a better answer than I do. This is such a common question and it's hard to
Mm-hmm.
answer because even LinkedIn gives different answers
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, I
Mm-hmm.
think. Uh, like I would say, start with what you're willing to do and what you have time to do. And of course, once a week would be really good. More seldom than that, I think, is a little too seldom. But if you can do it a few times a week, that would be better. So, but there are so many things to take into consideration. It's not just how often you post, it's, what do you post? What do you write about? And how do you connect with people? It's not just posting. Like on LinkedIn, it's so much about networking and commenting and, you know, really just kind of doing that digital mingling that you
Mhm.
need to do on the platform. It's social media. It's not just, sit and lurk behind the camera and don't do anything media. It really is interactive.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be, at least.
Mhm. That's good. So it would be too, what's the word, and not authentic if we just copy paste one very professional, I don't know, text or post, and we put it out there. It's not the authenticity we build here, or it's not, people cannot learn more about you, or that's why also want to say that it's all about being engaged in the conversation, and so that people can more see and hear what are your thoughts. It's so oftentimes what I want to say is that you can't always plan your LinkedIn content, right? Sometimes
That's
you
true.
know yeah, so you need to go with the flow, and if you see something that is interesting, or that, if that speaks to you and you can relate, then feel free to comment, share your thoughts, etc. This is exactly how we build our thought leadership, so that people can see our thoughts, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
sometimes those
true.
small daily reflections, they are the best because they are so
Mm-hmm.
authentic.
Mm.
They come directly from your heart.
Exactly.
And it's not that you pre-plan and pre-write and rewrite with AI, and it's not that kind of process. It is
Mm-hmm.
often the most efficient way to express yourself. But regarding to content, I think LinkedIn has like two strategies, or like two very large kind of ways how to go. Like one is to go like this LinkedIn crazy. Now, this is like for people who really, eagerly want to build something so quickly, and they start following all those large, huge, LinkedIn gurus who talk about all the tiny nitty gritty about the algorithm, and every day come out with the news about algorithm, and they really like measure in tiny details about everything you do. And of course, if you really are your goal, you need to understand what is your goal. If your goal is to build yourself as a LinkedIn influencer, of course, then this is your
Mm.
strategy. You need to understand how those miracle algorithms work for you. And I also follow them, of course, but in a reasonable level. Because if you go all in that, then you spend your all day in, or all time of your waking time in LinkedIn. So this is not recommended to maybe when you have a regular job that is not LinkedIn related. But then there is this other exactly maybe strategy when you are kind of having not LinkedIn related job, you have a regular job where LinkedIn is like a supporting platform. And over then, even once a week, a quality content is very good. Even once in 2 weeks, if it is a good quality, once in a while, good comments and really engagement, people with your industry. I have example myself. I have a friend who is not very fond of very frequent posting. I think she's posting like maybe once a month or so.
Mm.
She's posting about what she's really doing, and what she's dedicated about. She's doing basically working with talent mobility. And even though she lives here in North Europe, in Estonia, she was found, thanks to those posts, she was found from New Zealand and invited to like a webinar, LinkedIn Live, like we are right now,
Oh, wow.
from New Zealand. Yeah. So not being overly, that active, or not doing over.
Mm-hmm.
So even the modest activity can bring you the results if you keep quality, you stay in your
Mm-hmm.
niche, your profile looks trustworthy. So, but of course, some kind of regularity there should be. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't trust if the product disappears from the shelves. This can be compared with this, that we can't trust when someone
Mm-hmm.
is available a couple of weeks in a row and then
All the
disappears
time.
for months.
Yeah, that's very good.
Interesting.
And now we can dive even more in depth. I mean, we got another question now about the what types of content work best for oh, it's for job seekers. So articles, short posts, polls, videos. That's interesting. My probably that's for you because you have been, doing headhunting for years.
Yeah, I've been on that other side of the table. So I've been in the recruiter's shoes. So uh, my short maybe answer to that might maybe is that maybe start with comments, and comments can do miracles. And this is really a way to engage with someone in your industry. You can be, everyone notices when someone comments my post. And usually I go and check up this person's profile as well if someone is commenting under my post, if I see this person first time
Yeah,
there.
that's true.
This can be an amazing way also to introduce yourself to new potential employers. If your comment is really like cleverly written, it is carrying some value, maybe adding extra value to this post what you are commenting, giving extra facts, other point of view, you can be really noticed. You can be noticed by potential employers. You can be noticed by potential, business partners, and you really raise your kind of value on the market and your expertise. So I always actually recommend to everyone that start with the commenting before posting, because commenting is like mini posting. LinkedIn is
Yeah.
also, kind of rewarding people who are active and then writing comments to other people's posts. So this is my recommendation. How about you, Mira?
I think that's a really good recommendation. I think I need to listen to it myself even more, put more time into that.
I agree.
But but I
I
think
have to
that
say that it's kind of easier
yeah,
now. When you are getting into it, it's kind of easier to create my own original posts. It
of course,
sometimes takes for me even more time to comment someone, because then I need to kind of jump to other person's
think
shoes and
about it.
think from their perspective. It's kind of
Yeah.
easier for me to create my own. But if you're a beginner, I think it's easier and it's less stress.
Yeah, and exactly, and I don't think creating content comes naturally to everyone. I think that can feel really intimidating. So the most important thing is to find what is the lowest level thing you can do that you feel comfortable with and start doing that. But then I have to say, like 2 days ago, I listened to a LinkedIn cast where they were talking about what's next for LinkedIn, and everything I heard is about video. Like it's
Oh.
definitely video. They are priming the platform for video. I think that if you want to be in the forefront and you want to build relationships, video is one of the best things you can do. And you kind of have to rip off the band-aid and kind of put a camera in front of you and just start talking to your phone. I think you have to practice. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that is, if you think about it yourself, it's the easiest way to build credibility and get to know someone is if you, like now, you can hear us and see us and, hear the
Mhm.
authenticity in our voices or not, and judge for yourself if you trust these people. And that's just what happens in video. And for now, we don't do a lot of fake videos that might come, but right now that's the most authentic thing you can do. So that would definitely be my best tip still. Then I'm a person who likes to write too, so I think a mix of content is good also.
That's very good. And that just reminded me that when I started to put myself out there more, right? I remember how hard it was in front of the camera,
Mm,
especially, English is not my first language, so it's like a double obstacle there. But
yeah.
what I did was that I had this, I took this challenge actually with some other members we have, and the challenge was 100 days in a row. We needed to put some live video on the Facebook. So we have this. It's not
That's a
very
good
active
challenge.
anymore. It's not very active anymore. This Facebook group we have, but there's a lot of people, and it was still very hard for me just to do it. And the goal was just to get used in front of camera, speaking. Of course, it was crazy. Sometimes it was only for 1 minute. I just talked about something very, I don't know, shortly, and sometimes it was up to 5 minutes, etc. So the idea was, of course, I talked about marketing, but still, it's. The idea was that just do it. Don't think, don't overthink,
Mm,
just do it and get used to what you are and own it, right? So it was
yeah.
very hard for me first. but I think it's worth for sure. But I also wanted to add that the social proof, I think, is also important in LinkedIn. What do you think? Because we
Yes.
ask for the referrals and we ask for others talking about us. So, any thoughts about the social proof and if we are building personal brand, what's the best practices? What you have seen, Mira?
Social proof. So yeah, of course. I think that whatever it is you want to do and you want to be trusted, of course, someone might trust that coming more from their peers or professionals than coming from you, sadly, unless you've built up your own trust, of course. So there's nothing like it. So asking for recommendations and reviews is important. And on LinkedIn, it's super great because they have their own functionality for that. So you can go and ask people for recommendations, but you can also give them. So that's one of the things I do when I look at someone's profile. It's not just to see what recommendations they've gotten, but also if they've gone in and given recommendations, because I think that says a lot about a person too, if you've taken the time to go in and give recommendations.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get good ones, I screenshot them and I put them on my website, and that's a very easy way to
Mhm.
use them. Or even when I do something and someone tags me on LinkedIn or Instagram, I'll take a screenshot and put it up. And even if that's not the prettiest thing, it's the most real thing, which I think is what makes people feel like it's trustworthy.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's very
this
good.
this is kind of on the era where we live right now. The biggest threat right now is AI, and we really want to believe that
Mm,
this person is real. So seeing someone kind of being behind your skills or expertise and really, endorsing them from their own words. So this is the kind of best compliment. And if I come back to this from recruitment point of view, as the question already was from
Mm-hmm.
job seekers' perspective, then we as recruiters, we also, of course, we want to see this social proof. Because one thing is like in the old times, we had this paper CV, where
Mm-hmm.
theoretically you can write whatever. But the other thing is putting the same CV up in the platform where 1 billion people are members, and anyone can come
Mm-hmm.
to your kind of CV, and you can't lie there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't lie in a big picture there because you just can't do it publicly like that. So of
Of
course,
course.
as a recruiter, I always chose to see person's LinkedIn profile
Mm-hmm.
over the classical CV, even though CV has its own functionality sometimes as well. But generally, what I just took the copy pasted the name and searched the person in the LinkedIn right away to see
Mm-hmm.
what
yeah.
more I find, because this is like a living document. This creates value every day. The social proof, the comments the person writes, the tone the person uses when commenting something. Do I feel
Mm-hmm.
the values what my client is looking for? I was trying to find the best fit for my client, so this tells so
Mm,
much more than a classical CV.
Mm-hmm. Love it. So, from the com strategy, if I may say so, let's talk about the content that sticks. I know, Mira, you have the sticky method, and since we have, you have it like 45 minutes, like video done about it. We don't have that much time, but maybe you can walk us through what is it. And in the meantime, I'm also putting in the chat the link where people can sign up for the hub to see the recording because it's there. But Mira, go ahead. What is
perfect.
sticky method? Because it helps our listeners very much when it comes to the content.
Sure, absolutely. So it's just an acronym that makes it easier for you to remember things that can be good to work on with your personal brand. So STICKY stands for story, truth, impact, um, consistency, which we talked about already, important, kindness, which seems like an outlier but is interesting, and then you, why for you. And so if we start at the back, you, what we talked about before, and Mai said so eloquently that it's fun to be yourself. It really is, and I think that it's the most authentic thing you can do. And so you and your story really is your competitive advantage. That's the thing about the question we had before about defining and communicating your unique value proposition or communicating your subject. I saw this poll the other day on LinkedIn and someone had asked, oh, I like talking about all these topics. Which one do you want me to talk more about? And I answered in the comments, I like all of the topics, they're interesting, but I want to know why you care about them. I want to
Mhm.
know who you are. What's your opinion about this? That's what's interesting, not just listening to facts. And since, like you said before, Marilyn, like it really is about building relationships, and we do that by getting to know someone. So if you don't have content out there that makes people get to know you, then it's going to be really hard. So um, yeah, so S for story is about learning to tell stories from your life or examples from others so that people want to listen to you because people love listening to stories. And
Yeah.
truth really is another word for authenticity. So I think we talked about authenticity a lot. I think that people have a super sharp bullshit detector, so they will know if you're writing content that a content that isn't feeling authentic to you.
Mhm.
That's one thing. I for impact really is mostly about focusing on what impact you want to make in the world and writing about that. And there's a brilliant guy called Daniel Priestley who wrote a book on personal branding, and he says it so well because we have this feeling that people who work on their personal brands, they must want to be famous or they're influencers or they're super extroverted, but none of that has to be true. And it's not like shine the spotlight on me, look at me. It's more like you're taking your platform and using that to shine the spotlight on your message, what you want to bring to the world. And so that's whatever impact you want to make in the world. So just shifting your focus from the spotlight on me, which makes us feel bad, and the spotlight on the topic, but still, told through your stories, through your eyes, and put a little bit of like sprinkle a little bit of your personality onto it. So, and then consistency we talked about, um, and kindness really is just there to remind you that working on your personal brand can be quite tough. It can feel intimidating. You meet imposter syndrome, and so you have to be kind to yourself, I think, through that process, because really it is so that the whatever it is you want to achieve in life, I think, is on the other side of what you fear, and what your fear is putting yourself out there, I think. So we really just have to start, and then we'll know that it's not as hard as we make it up to be.
I love it.
Uh, oh,
That
I
method
see
really
a
sticks.
question.
Oh, there's a
Sorry, what?
question. I just
Yeah,
commented that that method really sticks. So I love
the
it.
method sticks. That's sweet. Um, so someone says, could you name the book again? What is the book called? Just Google Daniel Priestley. I think it's called Person of Influence, if I'm not wrong. It's super good. Also, he has a lot of good videos. You should follow him on social. He has a lot of good. He has like the 7-4-11 rule. You can read about that. He also has a really good likeness to, this thing about getting people to know you. He says, if I wanted to spend a day, 7 or 8 hours, getting to know you on the internet, could I do it? Would there be enough content out there for me to get to know you? So that could be podcast recordings, it could be posts on social, it could be your homepage, your website, anything really that they can consume. And for most people, the answer is no, because there isn't that much information out there. So this is your chance to put that information out there, to take
Mhm.
control and decide what it is before someone else decides what that is and puts information about you that is half-hearted or wrong or just not
Mhm.
interesting for you.
Mhm.
So I love the way he frames it. I
Mhm.
really recommend looking into him.
Very good. Thank you, Mira, and applause. Also, not from just from us, but also from Jumna in the comments. So,
Thank you.
and Mai, any thoughts, questions, ideas about what just Mira just shared?
It was amazing, and I really can write under to every single thought you had.
He'll sign
What
it.
what I really liked and what I think really needs emphasizing is like this moment of being ready. We are never ready, you know. We are
Yeah,
like
that's
machines
true.
of making excuses. This is how humans
Yeah.
are. And you are never ready. Whoever is listening to me right now, then I think this is the message that just ready is like a decision. It's not a
Mhm.
state of mind or feeling or how they say it. It's a decision. You just start. And you learn
Yeah.
by starting, you learn by doing. You don't know your tone of voice. You don't often even know your kind of professional nickname before you start. You start niching yourself maybe down. You're not there yet. But if you don't start, then it will never happen. And it's like a powerful, this effect of snowball or stone
Mhm.
falling down from the hill. So it will grow and it will bring right people to your life. And the right people will, contact you. It brings you possibilities, opportunities. So it's power of the starting. Just do
That,
it. It's yeah. You are
You're
never
right.
ready.
I think a good likeness would be if you wanted to start investing into the stock market and you're like, but I can't really do it because I haven't saved enough money yet. I have to save like 100,000 so I can, then I'll start investing. That
And
would be
read 10
stupid.
books.
Exactly. But it's the same with your personal brand. Everything that you do, every little investment in content or whatever it is you do, or just commenting, builds that clout and builds that investment that you have, and it accumulates. And that investment that you've done into yourself, you can never lose it. It never goes down in value. So it's the best investment you can make. But you have to start small with one little thing at a time, and it goes up exponentially. And so don't, you will never be ready, just like Mai says. You have to start before you're ready, and that's the only way to become ready if we ever are. I don't know. I don't think I'm ready anyway.
No, we are never ready.
We're
But we
never
enjoy the
ready.
process and it's fun.
that is
Yeah.
so beautiful and very well said, ladies. And I think also people work with people, not with companies, not with cold, accounts so somewhere out there, or social media profiles, not accounts. So first of all, thank you, ladies, for joining us. We are not wrapping up
Thank you.
yet, but the time flies. I just noticed.
It
So
does.
I just want to ask you to share with us a song that always inspires you, and also a quote that we can use later on LinkedIn post, of course, and to tag you. So, and also, what is the best channel if somebody wants to now connect you? And of course, I know it's LinkedIn, but you can say it out yourself, and we will put the links next to this episode for sure.
Mhm.
So, Mira, let's start with you.
Oh, the song question is hard. There are many good songs. Lately, I really love this Katy Perry song, Roar. So that would be
Mm-hmm.
the anthem, I think. Um, a quote that I got from my dad, who's sadly no longer with us, but he was really like my role model. He always said to me, Mira, when I was worried about, what people are going to think and how can I do this, all like all of the things like that, he always said, Mira, everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time, and you're no different. So I guess the meaning of that is like we all think that we're so less than each other, but we're not. We all have the same feelings, the same fears, the same challenges. And so that's just a way of evening out the playing field, I guess. And I really love that.
Mm.
Wow, that is powerful. Thank you so much, Mira. But now, where can people reach out to you besides LinkedIn?
Oh, yeah, of course, LinkedIn or Instagram. I'm there. And you can always email me. I'm sure I'll put all the information here, but LinkedIn is easiest, to be honest. I love getting messages. So reach out, definitely. Even if you just want like a boost and someone to write a nice comment on your post, I'm sure Mai will love that too. So we'll gladly do that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mira, so much. What about you, Mike?
When I thought about this quote now, thank you for giving me extra time to think about it. I think I will use the one. I was selling books door to door many years ago, over more than 20 years ago. When I was a student,
Oh.
university student, I was selling books in the US. And I really love that quote, what we had there. It was like, if you talk to people, good things will happen. And I
Mm.
think this quote really has followed me the rest of my life, that it kind of, empowers me, that I know that every answer to my question is behind the next kind of person. I need to go out and talk,
Wow,
network, introduce
Mhm.
myself, get to know new people to my life, and then, good things will
that's so
happen.
nice.
Yeah. So I think that is my power quote that has stayed with me.
That is
If you
powerful.
talk to people,
If you talk
good
to
things will
people,
happen.
good things will happen.
Very
Agreed.
straightforward and easy. Let's be honest. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Love it.
It
But
really is.
what about the song for you,
And the
Mike?
song I picked for today, I'm also a big music lover. I was going through millions of good songs, but I think the song I picked today is Brian Adams' I'm Ready.
Ooh,
Ooh,
that's also
It's a
nice.
beautiful, and it goes to today's topic.
yeah, it does.
I
Ooh,
love
and we
it.
have some songs in the chat too.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
said I love it. So you for Yumna, it's
amazing.
Thunder by Imagine Dragons. Thank you, Yumna.
That's
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 a
great.
good
great.
one.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't have any other songs. I love it, but I would pick a song from like anything from J Lo, probably On the Floor, because that always
Yes,
keeps me going. You know.
that's true. Agreed.
Yeah. And when I was thinking about your quotes, and you were mentioning Mira, your father, who is no longer with us, then I am often using a quote from my mother, who is
Mm,
with your, at the same place where is your dad, somewhere up in the clouds. So, and she
mm,
told me all the time that assuming is the mother of all problems.
Mm.
So let's not assume
mm.
that
Mhm.
people know who you are, that people know what you do exactly and what's in it for them. So you just need to keep
Very good.
pushing on.
That's really good.
So,
Assuming is the mother of all problems. I
yep,
love it. I'm
yep,
stealing both your quotes.
let's use them. That's the idea, to share these ideas. And for the listeners, thank you so much for joining us today. I feel so bad that it was only 1 hour. Probably we should next
Extend it
time book
next time.
the longer period. Yeah, but make sure to work on your professional nicknames and let us know because we would love to hear. And if you post about it on LinkedIn, make sure to tag us all so we can comment on that because I'm sure that
Yes.
Maya and Mira would love to hear about that as well. So now, any final words, Maya and Mira?
Just enjoy the process. Yeah. It's a summer, actually. It's a good time
Yeah,
to start. Not too many people are
that's
looking
true.
at LinkedIn, so it's a kind of less stress time to start.
Not
Enjoy
too many people are
April.
looking.
Use
I
July
like that.
when the Northern Europe is having vacation.
That's good.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
I think just do it. Like,
Yes.
you have nothing to lose, nothing bad is going to happen. Only good things will come. So just do it.
Just do it. Nike has it, said it all
They have
already.
it right.
They have it right, and we should just follow that.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah.
thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Mai and Mira, for your time. You are
Thank
amazing.
you.
And I'll see you soon again in Sweden. Enjoy your summer,
Yes.
everybody. And of course, we will continue this conversation inside the Powerful Marketers Hub. So, thank you once again, and goodbye.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone.